everyone! Today we'll be reviewing the proposed new flag from Mississippi. The committee to choose a proposed new flag from Mississippi recently unveiled this design as the potential new flag. Previously known as the new Magnolia flag, the committee changed its name to the In God We Trust flag. We're about to give a formal review of the flag, and afterwards we'll give some additional thoughts. The review will be done using the 5 basic principles of flag design as outlined in the book Good Flag, Bad Flag, written by Ted Kay and published by the North American Vexillological Association. Here is a quick rundown of the 5 principles. We will review the flag under each principle and give a score out of 10 for each. At the end, we will calculate the average score of the 5 principles, which will give us the overall final score for the flag. Let's begin. The flag consists of a centered blue field bordered by 2 thin vertical yellow stripes, which in turn are bordered by 2 vertical red stripes at the hoist and fly. The field is charged with a depiction of a magnolia blossom, which is surrounded by a circular shape consisting of 21 5-pointed stars and the words, "In God We Trust." This long-winded description conveys just how complicated this design is. The magnolia, while being a stylized depiction of a real magnolia flower, is still much too detailed and complicated for flag use. Also, the circle arrangement surrounding the magnolia is quite difficult to replicate. Added to that, the top star is divided into 5 diamond shapes, which add to the intricacy. The text is curved to form part of the circle, and it also uses a serif font, and both of these attributes further increase the complexity of the flag. For this principle, the flag scores 0 out of 10. The symbolism of the flag is the following. The magnolia represents the state of Mississippi. It's the official state flower. It also represents the hospitality of the state's citizens. Furthermore, it represents Mississippi's sense of hope and rebirth, as the magnolia often blooms more than once and has a long blooming season. The blue field of the flag echoes the blue of the American flag, representing vigilance, justice, and perseverance. The red stripes represent hardiness and valor. The yellow stripes and yellow stamen of the flower are a nod to the rich cultural history of Mississippi, specifically the visual arts, literature, music, and performing arts to originate in the state. The words, "In God We Trust," was a mandated design element as part of the flag design process. The text invokes the national motto of the United States, and Mississippi is a very religious state. While we disagree with the text as a design choice, the symbolism aspect of the text is okay in our view, though having any kind of religious symbolism on a flag is usually quite contentious. The yellow star at the top of the circle represents the first peoples of the state, the indigenous Native American tribes of the land that would become Mississippi. With the possible exception of the religious text, this is all very good symbolism so far, but now we arrive at a problem. The stars are meant to represent the fact Mississippi became the 20th state to join the Union of the United States. The problem is that there are 21 stars on this flag. The original design had 20 stars, but this created an imbalance with 10 stars at the hoist side and 9 at the fly, and the yellow star on top. When this was brought to the attention of the committee, they decided to add an extra star, and in doing so, destroyed the symbolism of the 20 stars. To sum up, while the flag has some very good symbolism, the addition of an extra star was a terrible decision that ruins part of the flag's meaning. Overall, for this principle, the flag scores 7 out of 10. The flag has 4 colors. Those are blue, yellow, red, and white. That's 1 color more than the recommended maximum of 3. All 4 colors are part of the standard set. The original design had gold rather than yellow. We think changing it to yellow was a good choice, as we now have a design using only standard colors. And it's also better in terms of contrast. The yellow has better contrast with the blue and red than the gold. The 20 white stars and white magnolia contrast well on the blue field, as does the yellow star. Technically speaking, the yellow stamen of the flower has good contrast because it's surrounded by blue. However, this can only be seen up close, and viewed from a distance, the yellow blends into the white petals and is difficult to distinguish. Summing up, the flag loses 1.5 marks for using 4 colors instead of 2 or 3, and it loses 1 mark for the contrast issue with the stamen and petals. Overall for color, the flag scores 7.5 out of 10. The flag has writing, and writing should never be used on flags. For this principle, the flag gets 0 out of 10. The flag is distinctive. The Magnolia design is original, and the red and yellow stripes really make the flag stand out among others, especially other U.S. state flags. For this principle, the flag scores 10 out of 10. So now we've reviewed the flag on each of the 5 principles. We're going to add the scores and divide by 5 to get the average. So for the proposed new flag for Mississippi, we get a final score of 4.9 out of 10. So that was our formal review. Here are some additional thoughts. We think this was a really poor choice from the committee. Of the almost 3,000 design entries, there were many that were much better than this one. The flag's biggest issue is simplicity. While the Magnolia is a very nice piece of artwork, it's way too detailed for flag use, and the details of the design are totally lost when the flag is viewed from a distance. And as we mentioned, the circle arrangement is also not at all simple. While some may argue the flag is less complicated than others, and clearly there are other flags out there that are more complicated, including some other U.S. state flags, we stand by our decision to give 0 marks for the simplicity principle. We've done well over 200 flag reviews on this channel so far, and we've been consistent on giving flags 0 marks with a similar level of complexity. Regarding symbolism, again we've remained consistent with our score. 7 out of 10 is fair in our opinion, but honestly, we wanted to score the flag less than that, because we think the decision to add an extra star was an abomination, an absolutely ridiculous decision that ruins the symbolism of the 20 stars. However, consistency and fairness have to rule. With color, we've always deducted 1.5 marks for every additional color above the recommended maximum of 3, and deducting 1 mark for the stamen and petal was fair. As for the writing, we give 0 marks for flags with writing. We passionately oppose writing on flags because flags are meant to be graphical representations, and using writing points to a total failure in this regard. With the final principle of being distinctive, this is the only occasion where the flag actually shines and gets top marks. And this principle is a huge reason why the flag ended up with a poor overall score and not a disastrous one. As bad as we think this flag is, if it's accepted by the people of Mississippi in the November referendum, then it will easily be in the top 20 best U.S. state flags out of the 50. It may even be close to the top 10. This is because a large number of U.S. state flags are absolutely horrendous. Many are even more complicated than this one, and many are very hard to distinguish, with 26 state flags consisting of a seal on a blue field. This was a real opportunity for Mississippi to really do something great, but that opportunity was wasted. But what do you guys think? Are we being too harsh on the flag, or are we not being harsh enough? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to check out our other videos, and of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe because we have a ton of content on this channel already, and we're going to have so much more great content coming your way in the future. Until next time, thank you for watching, and bye for now.